We have a group here today that I would love to start with on the floor. If there is anybody here who, and you don't need a yoga mat, you can just lay on a towel or on your carpet or a blanket or something like that. We're not going to be doing any postures that require super firm footing. That being said, we may do a standing posture that you could have a chair or a couch or yoga blocks nearby to aid in your balance. Otherwise, unless there are any strong objections, let's all start lying down on our backs. And I am going to go ahead and move to my mat and take the keyboard with me in case anybody arrives after we officially start here. And I will try to keep my eye on that. If you have any pillows or blankets, if you want to wear socks, if you have yoga blocks, anything like that that would make your practice more cozy, please go ahead and grab those. Feel free to lay on your mat and breathe with intention. And that even right there is yoga, just breathing with intention, the intention to take care of yourself. And as always, feel free to have your cameras on or off. If you want to unmute yourself to ask a question or clarify something, feel free to do that as well. Otherwise, we will start lying down on our backs. Again, you don't need a special yoga mat. You could lay right on your floor, blanket, towel, whatever. And we're just going to walk the feet out a little bit wider. Knees are bent, feet flat on the floor, kind of like a bridge position, except we're going to walk the feet out a little wider than the hips and let the knees sort of fall in towards one another. And if they can be touching here, supporting them each other, perfect. If not, maybe walk your feet out a little farther away from the sit bones or a little farther away from your seat. If they're not touching even then, no worries. If they're just kind of coming towards each other, then just let that be the case. And already you might feel a little bit of ease along the front of your hips and in your hip flexors. And maybe bring your hands to any place along that area that you feel sensation. And just acknowledge all of the stress and the tension that we hold into our hips. Just let that be seen and tended to today. We're going to tend to our hips. And then go ahead and take a few cleansing breaths here, whatever feels nice to you. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And as you exhale, just exhale like you're dropping a weight you have been carrying all day. And you might even use an audible sound, maybe something like this. Ah. And do that a couple of times. Bringing one hand to your belly and another hand towards your heart. And probably won't be right directly over the heart, but just wherever your backs of your arms can be resting down by your sides. And take a couple of those cleansing breaths. And if it feels nice, you could close the windows of your eyes. My little space heater just kicked on, so if you hear a weird noise, that's what that is. And then come back to breathing through your nose. And just let your awareness come to the palms of your hands. And feel the rise and fall of your belly as you inhale and exhale. And as you're holding yourself here, supported by the ground, maybe bring an attitude of compassion and tenderness to the quality of your touch. You might think about petting your cat or your dog, maybe holding the hand of a small child. Just that gentle, loving kindness that so many of us show to everybody else in the world except for ourselves. So that's what this time is for, just for you. And with your next inhale, just count to yourself how many beats it takes to inhale. It might be 2, 4, 7, doesn't matter. But once you've got that count to yourself how long it takes to exhale and just see what that might be. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's a little different. If you find your inhales are quite long and the exhales quite short, that might be an indication that your nervous system is a little bit in overdrive here. Well, that's what that is telling you, your breath. So now you can talk back to your nervous system and say, now is the time to calm down, to relax. When our muscles are softer and more relaxed, we can have greater flexibility. So the next time you exhale, see if you can encourage your exhale to be as long as the inhale, or maybe even a beat or two longer. Just watching the rise and fall of your belly with your awareness of your hands, your body. We'll just be here for a few more breaths, settling in. Let's just bring the intention to be present to the practice, noticing any sounds or thoughts that might arise. And then just gently bringing yourself back to the sensations of your breath and the experience of your body. With your next inhale, begin to bring your feet parallel. And with your next exhale, draw one knee and then the other in towards your heart. Just give yourself a little rock from side to side. And maybe it's just a little subtle rock right there on the sacrum, down near the tailbone. Or maybe you want to rock a little farther over to the right and get a little into that outer hip. And then a little farther over to the left, getting into the left hip a little more deeply. And then we'll bring the knees into the palms here. Inhale and straighten your arms so the knees come away from the chest. Exhale and draw the knees back in towards the heart. Inhale, press away gently. Exhale and draw in. And if you want to challenge your core a little bit here, you could release your hands from your knees, turn your palms up to the sky, and really use your abdominal muscles to draw the knees in. And back out once again. And from here, with your hands on your knees or off, let's just make some circles on the ceiling, keeping the knees and the feet toward one another. Parallel. We'll make a few circles in one direction and then the other. And then we'll set the left foot down. Keep the knee pointed up towards the sky, and we'll just interlace our fingers either behind the right thigh or around the front of the shin, whatever feels most comfortable to you. We're just going to get a little movement in that hip. So take your knee out from side to side, just kind of rocking back and forth in the hip socket. And then again, straighten the arms, let the knee come away, and draw it back in. Just on one side this time. And then again on one side, we'll make some circles in one direction. And then in the other direction. And then inhale, extend your right leg up towards the sky. You can have a bend in the knee, or maybe it's a little more straight. Interlace your fingers behind that thigh and just gently draw the leg in a little closer to your heart. You can flex into that right foot, kind of drawing your toes down towards your knee here. And as you inhale, come back to that nice balanced breath you created. And gently notice your muscles, your tendons, your joints all relaxing and softening as you exhale. One more inhale right here, and then we'll bend that right knee and bring the right ankle to the top of the left thigh. And you can keep your hands on your belly or have them down at your sides. We're just going to open up that right knee, pressing it away from the heart, getting into the front of this right hip here, and then drawing it in. Just a little different angle of movement in that hip socket here. And if you've noticed that your shoulders, your chest, your heart, your neck, your jaw or brow have started to tense up, see if you can bring a little softness there. And you can stay right here with this movement with the left foot anchored, or maybe you've picked that left foot up and interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Now you can pick up your head and shoulders so you can get a good reach there, but make sure you can get your head and shoulders back down to the mat. If not, go ahead and keep that left foot anchored. Let's rotate that left ankle in one direction and then the other. And then we'll flex strongly into both feet and maybe press that right foot towards the left any amount, and notice how that changes things in the right hip, the glutes, maybe the IT band. Couple breaths right here. Use your next inhale to release that left foot down to the earth. Either stay here or bring your palms alongside your hips. Inhale, press into the left foot, engage the glute and lift the hips up towards the sky. Exhale and set that sacrum right back down. Inhale, press into the foot, draw the right knee towards the earth, press the left hip up towards the sky. Exhale, set the hips down. Let's do two more right there. Again, move with the balanced breath if that's helpful for you, because we want to keep the movement slow and deliberate, and we want to pay attention to all the sensations along the way. And then we'll come back to center and just simply let that right foot come all the way over towards the ground along the left side. Now the legs might kind of just sort of slide away from the hips a little bit. That's absolutely fine. If this is too much for any of your joints, just untuck the right ankle from underneath that left knee and bring the knee and ankles together. We'll just be here for another moment. You could send that right arm out to the right and turn to gaze over your right palm. And you could use your left hand to maybe press the right knee away or draw it down towards the earth, whatever feels good in that hip and all of those joints. One more inhale here. Use your next exhale to engage your core, untuck that right foot, bring knees and ankles together, and then we'll inhale both knees back to center and rock a little bit side to side again. And then we're just gonna let both feet come right down to the mat. Bring your hands to your belly or alongside your hips and just notice the difference in the two sides of your body. How does your left leg and hip feel compared to the right? Does the right feel like it has a little more energy? Maybe it's feels a little lighter or a little heavier, a little warmer or cooler. Just getting to know the subtle sensations of your body, which many of us don't listen to very often until they get pretty loud. And then we'll keep the right foot anchored and we'll see if we can't find a little balance here. So interlace your fingers, bring that left knee towards the heart, and either bring your interlaced fingers behind the thigh or around the front of the shin. Or you might switch the clasp of your hands too, bringing your non-dominant thumb on top, just to give your brain something new to learn here. And then we'll rock that femur from side to side in the hip socket once again, a few times here. And then we'll straighten the arms and rock the knee out and away and back in towards the heart a few times. Notice the sensations along the sacrum. And then we'll make some circles in each direction. And again, if your mind starts to wander off and make plans, just gently bring yourself back to the sensations of your body and your breath. And then we'll inhale, send the left foot up to the sky. Hang on to the thigh here with your interlaced fingers. Again, doing it the wonky way, the weird way. And whenever we do something new, we break those habitual patterns and we create new patterns and strengthen those pathways in our brains. Flex that left foot, draw the toes down towards the knee. Get as long as feels comfortable here. Again, the knee can be bent or straight, whatever feels nice. One more inhale right here, and then we'll exhale to bring the left ankle to the right thigh. Again, hands can be on belly or alongside your hips, and we'll just rock that left knee in towards the heart and away. And you can engage your core here as much as you like as you draw that knee in towards center. Or you can keep the belly soft and have this practice be more restorative. Your adventure today. You might stay here with that foot anchored, or you could pick up both legs, wonky interlace behind the right thigh, or maybe even around the right shin if you have the space. We'll rotate that right ankle now in one direction. And then in the opposite direction. And then flex both feet and press that left foot towards the right as much as feels comfortable for you. We just want to come right up to the edge of sensation here, really taking care to not go beyond our healthy boundaries. Couple breaths right here, just noticing the experience of the left hip, maybe other areas of your body as well. One more full breath right here. And then we'll inhale to set that right foot right on down. You could stay right here or bring your hands alongside your hips. Inhale, press into the right foot, lift the hips up towards the sky. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up, draw the left knee down and the right hip up. Exhale, release. And when we engage that glute, we give a little more space to the front of the hip to open up. One more time here. Exhale, release, and then we'll just rock that left foot over to the ground along the right side. Again, if this is too much for that left knee or ankle or hip, untuck that left foot and bring it right on top of the right foot. Otherwise, you might take that, and either way, if you're tucked or untucked, take your left arm out perpendicular to the body or alongside the hip, and maybe look out over your left hand, getting a little bit of a twist here in the neck as well. And then you might play with this left knee, pressing it away or drawing it in a little bit closer. And just noticing what feels good to you. Maybe stillness feels good and you don't want to move it at all. Let's find a few more breaths right here, just breathing into that left hip. One more inhale here. Exhale, untuck the foot if it's not already. Engage the core. Inhale the knees back up towards the heart. And again, let's make some circles in each direction here. Hands anchored to knees or not, depending on what kind of experience you're looking for your practice today. And then we'll set both feet down once again, bring the hands to the belly and just reassess here. How does the left leg feel now compared to the right? Do you experience a little more balance here? Just noticing and maybe coming back to your balanced breath again. Telling your nervous system that it doesn't need to be releasing adrenaline and cortisol right now. That it can be releasing more calming, restorative, and healing hormones. And then we'll go ahead and send both legs out long. If it feels okay in your shoulders, reach your arms up as far overhead as you like. And we'll just rotate wrists and ankles, wiggle fingers and toes. Just get a little stretch, release the low back and the hips, maybe rock gently from side to side here. And then we'll bend the knees once again, bring the feet to the earth, and we'll come up onto the elbows. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, go ahead and come right on back down to the floor. We'll do that same sort of thing that we did on the ground. We're going to take that right leg, and this time we're going to extend it out long, let it hover over the earth. If that doesn't feel nice, you could send the heel out in a way and keep the leg grounded. So whatever feels good for you. But we're going to draw the right knee in towards the heart and then press it away, either grounded or to hover. And let's do that 2 more times. You can use your inhale to find extension here. And your exhale to draw the knee in to engage that core. And then we'll set the right foot down. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, extend, heel grounded or hovering. Exhale, draw in towards the heart. Use the breath. Notice any places where you have tightened up, maybe in the jaw, the shoulders, the neck. One more time, we'll find extension. And exhale, ground that foot right back down to the earth. And then let's bend the right knee, send the right leg up towards the sky. Turn the right toes out towards the right, kind of like you're opening a door here, twisting the whole leg in that hip socket. And then we'll inhale to take the right foot out towards the right, only as far as you can stay anchored and even through the hips. And then exhale to draw it back towards center. And this movement does not need to be super huge, maybe just a couple inches. But we're using the core to draw that leg back to center. Let's do 2 more times together here. Keeping the left sit bone anchored, keeping the left foot anchored. And then we'll bring those toes back in alignment and set the right foot down. Let's inhale, stretch the left leg up to the sky. Find your rotation, stay for the exhale here. And then we'll inhale the left leg out towards the left, any amount, keeping the right side anchored, and then exhale to draw in. 3 more on this side. I think that's 4 on each side. I lose count sometimes, so forgive me. Do it until you feel nice and balanced. And then we'll bring that foot back into alignment, set the left foot down. Let's take the feet out wide, and you can stay on the elbows or come up onto the hands here. And we're just going to rock the knees like windshield wipers from side to side. And again, either you're on your back or your forearms or your hands. Maybe you're on your fingertips if that feels good, or on your palms. Your fingers can be facing out to the side, behind you, or towards your hips. Everybody's different here and has different rotations. We're going to walk the feet away from the sit bones a little bit. And we're going to pick up that right foot again and send it out long. Draw it back in towards the heart and set it back down on the mat. Inhale here, exhale, draw the left knee towards the heart. Inhale to send it away, anchored or not. Exhale to draw in and anchor it back down to the floor. One more time, picking up, extending, using your breath in a way that makes sense for you. Pick up the left, find extension, bring it back in, and set the left foot down. And then we'll go ahead to come sit all the way up. And we're going to bring the feet together in a kind of a butterfly posture. So if you've got lots of space here, you might bring the feet in really close to the groin and get a little more into the inner thighs. If not, you can have the feet away like a little diamond shape, whatever feels good to you. Maybe somewhere in the middle. We're just going to inhale to lift the heart up towards the sky. Exhale, round the back body, chin to chest. Inhale, arch the back, open the throat, draw the elbows down towards the ground. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine, little cat back here. Inhale, cow posture. Exhale, cat posture. And the next time you come forward into cow, we'll just make some circles in one direction with the spine. I always like to think about using a rubber scraper to scrape the inside of a bowl when you're making brownies or cookies or something. It's never salad that I want to scrape from the bowl. And then we'll rotate in the opposite direction. Again, just until you feel even on both sides. And then we'll come all the way back to center. And then we're going to take the feet out wide. So that could be anywhere from a couple, 3, 4 feet to maybe a little bit wider. We just want to be making sure we're not rolling back on the spine, but that we've kind of got a forward tilt in the pelvis, and you can be sitting on a blanket or a pillow here if you like. And again, we're going to flex those feet, press into the heels, draw the toes back towards the knees. Inhale, nice tall spine right here. Roll your shoulders back and down, lift the heart. Exhale, and just walk your fingertips forward until you find a little forward fold, keeping your spine nice and long, leading with your heart. Lengthen the spine. Breathe into the low belly. Feel your hips expanding. And use your next exhale to walk yourself back up to that tall spine. We're going to bend the right knee and bring it in towards the groin, somewhere to the inside of the left thigh here. Let's find a nice tall spine here, and then just kind of rotate so that your heart's in alignment with that bent right knee. You might stay right here using a little leverage. You can press your left hand towards your left thigh and just find your twist here. Or if it feels okay for you, you can bring your left hand to your left shin and tilt any amount towards that left side. You can bring your right hand to your right hip here. Maybe find a little gentle massage in the right hip. Noticing any parts of that low back or upper thigh area that might be a little tender. Just again, using that tender, compassionate touch here. And if it feels okay for you, you could extend those right fingertips up towards the sky and maybe take a little deeper side bend. Rotate your heart upward, draw the right shoulder back and down wherever you are. 2 full breaths here, opening the right side of the body. And then we'll use our next inhale to bring those right fingertips up, anchor them back down, and then we'll just switch sides. Extend the right leg, bend the left knee, bring the foot in towards the right thigh. Rotate your heart so that it's in alignment with that left knee, or at least towards that direction. Mine's not quite there. And we'll just find a little twist here to start, looking out and beyond your left knee. Find your tall spine, roll your shoulders back and down, tuck the chin so the neck is a nice long extension of your spine here. And you can either stay here or bring your left hand to your left hip and your right hand to your right shin and find that little side bend and maybe a little bit more massage over here on the left hip. Just noticing any areas that appreciate your gentle touch today. And then if it feels good, you might want to extend that right or left arm up alongside the left ear. Rotate your heart towards the sky. Draw the left shoulder back and down. Couple breaths over here on this side. And then let's inhale, sweep the left fingertips up towards the sky. Let's bring the soles of the feet together once again and find a couple more rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, lift your heart, arch the back, cow posture. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. This time we can rock back on that tailbone. One more round here. And then we'll inhale back up to that tall spine. And then we're going to come on over to the knees, but instead of being on the hands, we're going to be on the forearms. So you might want to start in tabletop and then come down to the forearms, or just come right on down to the forearms. Press into your palms, bring your hips up in alignment over your knees. And we're going to find that same cat-cow motion here. Let's inhale, and there won't be much movement here. We're going to inhale to draw the heart forward, draw the shoulder blades back and down. Exhale, press into your elbows, make a little dome of your shoulder blades here, tucking your tailbone. Inhale, arch the back, forearm cow posture. Exhale, pressing the belly button towards the spine, drawing the tailbone down towards the earth. Couple more rounds here. And then we'll inhale, come back to center. Maybe bring your knees in a little bit closer to one another. And then we're going to gently kick the right foot up towards the sky and make some circles from this perspective. Rotating that femur bone in the hip once again. And then reversing the circles, opening it up. And if you engage the glute here, you can really make this a nice hip strengthener as well. And then we'll set that right knee down and we'll do the same thing on the left side. Opening up and out and down towards center once again. And then reversing the circles to open out and up and down to center. And really engaging that outer hip and the glute here. And then we'll set that left knee down, tuck the toes, and send the hips back towards the heels for a nice extended child's pose. And then we'll untuck the toes, take the knees out wide, and really set yourself all the way back for child's pose. Your head can be down on the ground or to a block or a pillow. If this isn't comfortable for the knees, you can be sitting on a blanket or pillow. And if you want to come into full child's pose, you could bring the knees in parallel and send the arms down alongside the sides and turns the palms up towards the sky. Again, letting your head come to the ground or to a block or a pillow or blanket. Just anchored on something firm and solid and supportive. Wherever you are, we'll find 2 more breaths here. And then let's inhale to roll all the way up to sit. And any way you want to get there, we're going to come all the way back down to the back again. And we'll find a final Shavasana. So you can start with your knees bent and together, feet out wide like we started at the beginning of class. That's constructive rest posture. You could rest your knees onto a blanket or bolster or a couple of blocks or even a chair. Or you could send your legs out long, find a little space in between your feet. Open up your arms to the sky. Snuggle your shoulder blades in towards one another. Maybe lift your head to tuck your chin gently. And let's find 2 or 3 more of those big cleansing breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth with a sigh. And then just let go of control of the breath. Let your body take back over here, doing what it does. Controlling all of these processes that we never even have to think about. Breathing circulation, the immune system, the nervous system. They're all part of our same system, and they all work to support one another along with our thoughts and our emotions. And they all affect each other. So right here, just allow yourself to be soft, trusting your body, knowing that in this present moment you are supported by the ground, safe, opening up the body to unkink all of the passageways and the hoses and the capillaries and the veins, the nerves and everything, having gotten all that nice healthy movement and the nutrition of your attention. We'll just be here for another minute in silence, keeping your mind focused on yourself, your body, your experience. And if your time allows you to stay here in Shavasana, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can start to find some gentle movement in the fingers and toes, the ankles and wrists, and maybe roll yourself gently over to your favorite side for one full breath. And then press yourself back up to a nice tall seat. I like to finish in staff pose, Dandasana, this really strong L shape with the legs out long from the body, toes pointed up towards the sky. We'll bring those hands out to either side. And once again, encourage the heart up, the shoulders down, the chin tucked. And then let's bring both hands towards the heart, maybe inhaling the hands up towards the sky, bringing the palms together and anchoring them at the heart. And if you like, you can bow your chin towards your chest and respect and reverence for the beautiful mechanism that is your incredible body, your home here on this earth, and to your own inner wisdom. May the light within me honor the light within you. Namaste.